Hello everybody, I'm Amy Arwin, and I am back for another edition of my vlog. This week, a real quick update before I get into the topic. I have my first day of grad school tomorrow. I'm a little nervous and very excited as well. I will be in orientation this whole first week, and then classes will begin next week. I'm excited to get started because I've been out here for a while waiting for school to start. I thought it was going to be starting much earlier, and it hasn't started. It's now late September, and it's just about to start. I'm nervous just because a lot of new people don't know anybody yet, and don't really know what to expect when I get there, other than I'll be sitting in a room listening to people talk at me all day. Also, earlier in the week, I went to the hospital I was hired by and started all the pre-employment paperwork and physicals that I needed to get done, peed in a cup, which was a lot of fun, as always. And I should be starting back in the hospital in 3 weeks. I'm so excited to get back into the hospital. I know that sounds weird for a lot of you that don't work in a hospital, that aren't in nursing, but most of my nursing friends will probably understand. I love working in a hospital, and I find it's really invigorating, and I really miss it, so I'm looking forward to doing that. Should be a couple more weeks and I'll be good. So this week's topic, it was brought up by someone I served in the military with. Thank you, Sergeant. He wanted to know how the trans community looks at sexual orientation versus gender identity. And though I can't speak for the whole trans community, I can definitely speak from my experience and what I've seen and how I look at it. Everything that I'm going to go into today, I've gotten from just how I generally feel and speaking with other people within the community and some reading. If anybody wanted to actually read in depth on this topic, there's so much literature out there. A lot of good stuff, some bad stuff, but I definitely could recommend things if somebody wanted to read up on it. So I think the first thing that I should touch on when it comes to sexual orientation are a few of the definitions I went over in my first video. First, sex, which is a biological term. People often think it's determined by chromosomes, but usually in our society we determine somebody's sex by the appearance of external genitalia of the infant at birth. And then gender, which is a social construct. It's defined by behaviors and roles within society, and it is fluid between different cultures. And then gender identity is an internal belief of somebody's own maleness or their femaleness, how they view themselves. So, as I said before, transsexuals are people that those two don't match up, the sex and the gender don't match, or their gender identity don't match up, and they choose to do something about it, usually through a transition. Sexual orientation is simply, I get the most simple explanation I can think of is just who you're attracted to. So people who are usually termed straight are heterosexual, are people that are attracted to the opposite gender. So if you identify yourself as a male, you're attracted to females. That would be a heterosexual male. And vice versa with a heterosexual female, they're attracted to men. And then homosexual or gay or lesbian individuals are men that are attracted to other men, or women that are attracted to other women. Now, it's all determined by the person A that we're talking about, how you identify yourself. If you identify yourself as a male or a female, and you're attracted to the opposite, male or female, you are heterosexual. Whereas if you are identified as a male or a female and attracted to the same, you're deemed homosexual. Bisexual, of course, are people that, no matter what they identify as, are attracted to both, or all. So sexual orientation is in part based off your gender, so it's how you feel on the inside and who you are attracted to, whether it's men or women, or again both. But other than that, gender identity is very separate from sexual orientation. Just because somebody is transsexual, it doesn't have any predetermination on whether they're attracted to men or whether they're attracted to women. So me personally, I'm attracted to females. So I would be, a term that's frequently used in the trans community is trans lesbian. If I were attracted to men, I would just be a straight trans woman. So if a trans person starts through a transition, it has no real bearing on their sexual orientation. There are trans people who are gay, there are trans people that are lesbians, there are trans people that are straight, there are trans people that are bisexual. So there's all kinds of trans people. They're completely unrelated in that there's no direct correlation between trans people and who they're actually attracted to. There is a correlation in that sexual orientation is at least in part based off your gender identity, how you identify on the inside, whether it's male or female, and then also determining the other pieces by who you're attracted to. So it's something that's frequently confused by the rest of society that aren't really in the trans community, that trans people are gay men that want to become women so that they can sleep with men, or vice versa with trans men. But that's really just not true. On another note, it has been shown in recent studies that trans women that go through a transition, a medical transition with hormones, taking estrogen and testosterone blockers, have been shown to have a broadening in sexual orientation. So if a trans woman is attracted to females going into hormone therapy, they've seen not that they will no longer be attracted to females, but they also might start becoming attracted to males as well. So that's something that's recent literature has shown. Personally, I haven't really seen an attraction to men. I have noticed I like the attention, but everybody likes attention, I guess. So I like that piece of it. But there's, for me, there really hasn't been that aspect of it yet, that broadening of sexual orientation. I'm still relatively early in my transition. I'm at 5.5 months right now. And I'm open to the idea that would happen to me. I'm trying to keep an open mind when I meet new people, but that's just not how I feel at the moment. I also, on another note, I've had people that do know my sexual orientation ask if I'd be willing to date other trans women, and to be honest with you, that doesn't seem like a problem to me. They obviously self-identify as female. They usually try to present as female. I would accept them as female, just as I would hope the rest of society would accept me as female. So yeah, that would be something I would be willing to do, and I'm sure I'd be attracted to them as a female. So that's kind of my personal sexual orientation and my take on sexual orientation in the trans community as a whole. I'm still very appreciative of all the comments I've received. Thank you all so very much. And yeah, feel free to send me messages, comment below, or subscribe to my channel. I try to get back to everybody that contacts me. And I hope you all are doing very well. I'll tape another update, hopefully either later in the week or next weekend, let you know how school's going and how this first week went. And I'll probably address another topic. I have a couple more that people sent me. So until then, I'm Amy Arwin, and I hope you are all doing wonderfully well. Love you all. Bye-bye.